Tonight, exciting news for Pike County animal lovers.
Plus, the state treasurer visits Troy. Stay tuned, Troy. TrojanVision News starts now.
Center of Troy University's broadcast and digital network. At Troy, Alabama's international university. This is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for February 9th, 2016. I'm Samantha Charles.
And I'm Haley Greathouse. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Stray animals in need of a permanent home in Pike County will soon have a place that they will be able to call their temporary home. The community gathered this morning to celebrate the start of construction on a new animal shelter. Sarah Singletary explains.
I am so excited. This is a historic day in Troy, Alabama and in Pike County.
Oh, it's the greatest thing that's happened in Pike County since I don't know when.
All of the excitement is over the start of construction on Pike County's new animal shelter. City leaders and members of organizations responsible for raising funds for the new shelter broke ground at the shelter site Tuesday morning. It was a moment many in the community have been eager to see finally happen.
Oh, well, we've waited a long time, and so many people have done so much to get us here, and so it's exciting to take this next to the last step. You know, the next time we'll be here, we'll be cutting a ribbon and opening the building, but this is to see the actual undertaking.
This project started as an effort from two separate groups that put in many years of work to get a shelter built.
This is a project that had its founding in a classroom at Troy University and in the hearts and minds of all sorts of people in this community. It's a partnership from Troy University to the students, the city of Troy, Pike County, and it is a glorious day for this community.
Well, there were two major groups within the community that wanted a shelter big: the Humane Society of Pike County and the Pike Animal Coalition group, and it was just about impossible for us, either of us, to generate enough money to build the type shelter that we wanted. So in coordination with the city and the county government, they got behind us and we put our money in, and the Pike Animal Coalition group put their money in, and as a joint effort, we have now going to have a state-of-the-art shelter.
Now citizens of Pike County just have to wait a few more months until the new shelter is complete.
This facility provides Pike County a central, modern, and professional animal shelter that is a joy, a place that we can go to celebrate the lives of our animals, celebrate how they contribute to our lives.
Sarah Singletary, Troy TrojanVision News.
City officials say the project is expected to take 6 months to complete.
Students walking across campus this week may have noticed chalk drawings announcing Young Boozer. No, this is not a rapper or a new fad. Young Boozer is the Alabama State Treasurer, and I had the chance to meet him last night. The Troy University Economics Club welcomed a special guest to this week's meeting.
We invited the Honorable Mr. Young Boozer down. He is the Alabama State Treasurer, and he came down and gave us about a 45-minute talk just about the different things that the Treasury Department does, the certain economic philosophies that he follows, and philosophies that he wishes the country would follow as well. Just basically his idea of what the framework of economics is.
To get a speaker like Boozer for an event is really about who you know.
I actually have a friend who goes to Auburn who had met Mr. Boozer at his inauguration ceremony several years ago, and he was able to get me in touch with him. So I got in touch with him and invited him down here, and he was very excited about doing it.
Boozer not only has the experience of state treasurer, but he also has a 40-year background in economics.
I went to school at Stanford, economics degree. I have an MBA from Wharton in finance, banking, and money and banking. And I've worked for banks across the country. I've been the CFO of an oil company. I've also worked for a holding company here in Alabama.
As economics shows us, the right input produces a large output.
Weekly turnout for our meetings is usually no more than 20 or 30, and tonight I'm sure we had probably close to 100.
Guests were able to hear Boozer speak about many functions of Alabama's Treasury, and he elaborated on his favorite part.
My favorite part of being the treasurer is operating, managing the unclaimed property function. Nothing gives us more pleasure than reuniting people with their own money.
Overall, Boozer encourages students to look at everything in life as a lesson.
Never stop learning. Learn everything you can. Everybody is a teacher. Everybody is teaching you something.
Economics Club meets every other Monday in Bibb Graves, room 129. Growing up, there was always something special about picture day at school. It was a time to get dressed up and to capture that perfect moment in history.
Well, tomorrow, Troy University students will get the chance to create a lasting memory for the yearbook. Ryan Renfro explains.
It's time to say cheese. Palladium yearbook pictures are this Wednesday, a chance for Troy students to make sure they are a part of the memories of their time here in Troy.
50 years from now, you may not have your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter. This is the only document that we can guarantee you still have them. There's a lot of people who contact us years later. We have people from the 60s, 70s wanting to get their yearbooks because it's the only thing that they have memories of here, and it's a great token to remember.
And unlike the traditional picture that students took back in grade school, the Palladium staff wants students to have a little fun with the photos that will end up in the yearbook.
Yeah, it's definitely your character that we want to put in there, and if you see our flyers around campus, it's what's your story or be part of our story, and we want you to be personalized, have a good time with it. Our favorite story is there's always the couple who brings their dogs and put in the picture, so we want to make sure that it represents you and your personality.
And Gamble says there have been a variety of interesting poses in past years.
There's been a lot of poses that people do. One last year that was really funny was a guy turned around backwards and like made a cat face and like pawed as a cat and everything. And people bring like funny glasses, mustaches, big hats. A few years ago we had a person for 3 years straight wear a giant cowboy hat. And so it's just something that makes you unique.
Gamble adds that in addition to being fun, getting your picture taken won't take long.
Less than a minute. You show up. We're now doing an online system to register, so there's no paperwork anymore. You just click your name, type it in, and you're good to go.
Ryan Renfro, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Palladium Pictures will be tomorrow from 9 to 5 in the Trojan Center lobby.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. A Georgia man who used to practice law in Montgomery has been accused of defrauding the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for nearly $1.1 million between 2005 and 2008. U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Alabama, George Beck, says 46-year-old Christopher Pitts was arrested Monday following his February 2nd indictment on 9 counts of wire fraud.
Thousands will be spending Fat Tuesday partying in Mobile, which claims to be the home of the nation's oldest Mardi Gras celebration, whereas New Orleans is better known as a Mardi Gras destination. But Alabama's Port City is also alive with parades, a ball, and a neighborhood festivity to mark the coming of Lent.
An Etowah County teacher has been accused of sexting 4 high school students. Sheriff Todd Entrington said in a news release that 31-year-old Kayla Lynn Hodges was arrested Monday on 4 misdemeanor counts of the school employee having sexual contact with a student under the age of 19. She worked at Gadsden's Gaston High School. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the men's basketball team earned a victory over the weekend. Khadijah Torbert has more on the close matchup coming up in sports.
Plus, it's primary day in New Hampshire. We will have that story and more coming up.
The first in the nation primary here in New Hampshire is underway, and the GOP race is on fire. I'm Weijia Zhang with the latest from the campaign trail coming up.
This is Dr. Jack Hawkins. He's the Chancellor of Troy University and a veteran. One of his proudest achievements is serving those who serve and helping active duty military and veterans complete degrees that will build great careers. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The team, who is ranked 76 by Golf Week, opened up its spring season, but it was 2 players from the men's golf team that actually competed at the Savannah Quarters Individual Intercollegiate at the Savannah Quarters Country Club Monday. Junior Sean Stone finished tied for 18th place, and competing for the first time as a Trojan was Hunter Davison, who finished in 47th place. The men's golf team will officially open the season as a team on February 19th in Humboldt, Texas. The Troy women's basketball team took on Little Rock Friday and Arkansas State Saturday, but had no luck. The 2 losses pushed the Trojans into its 6-game losing streak. Head coach Chandler Rigby says although the team failed both nights, the team has learned lessons on what to improve on next.
Yes, we knew that was going to be a very tough road swing. Arkansas State being undefeated in conference, UALR with a very good team, and we fell to both of them, but we learned some very good lessons. We cut down the amount of points we allowed in the paint by half this weekend, and we're hopefully making that a steady for the rest of the season, not to give up points in the paint and not give second chance opportunities.
Trojans look to take down Georgia Southern Thursday at home in Trojan Arena. Tip-off for the women is at 5:15. It was a turn of events for the men's basketball team. Although the men lost against Little Rock 49-72 Friday, they didn't let the loss affect them as they rebounded Saturday against Arkansas State and snapped their 5-game losing streak with a close 71-70 victory. Associate head coach Marcus Grant expresses his excitement on the win.
Great feeling. Anytime you can get a win in this league, it's a great feeling, especially on the road. Arkansas State, they're a very good basketball team. I think they were fourth in the league at the time. So anytime you're able to go get a win on a team's home floor like that, it's a great win.
The men look to keep their momentum rolling as Georgia Southern comes to Trojan Arena. Game is set for 7:30. For Troy, the track and field team had an impressive weekend at the Jaguar Invitational in Birmingham over the weekend. In individual and team scoring, the Trojans took down several Sunbelt Conference teams. The Trojan women outscored UL Lafayette and ULM, while the men also outsprinted Little Rock. The director of track and field, Mark Davis, thinks the team is finally meshing together and is excited for the next opportunity to compete.
We're doing pretty well. We're coming along well. We're starting to get some PRs, hit some big PRs, getting close to some PRs. A lot of kids are where they were last year at this point or beyond it. So, I mean, we're excited going into Sunbelt.
The team will have the opportunity to outsprint the competition again at the Sanford Invitational on Friday and Saturday.